Have you ever heard these statements at the gym? The more protein, the better. You need 2 grams per kilogram of body weight daily. Without protein supplements, you can't build muscle. When I first started working out, I believed all of this. I ate 3 chicken breasts daily plus protein shakes. But after 3 months, my muscles barely grew. And I only felt more digestive issues and fatigue. Here's the shocking truth. Recent research has shaken the sports nutrition world. A 2024 groundbreaking study from McMaster University's Exercise Physiology Department in Canada revealed something stunning. Excessive protein intake actually decreases muscle synthesis rates. Researchers tracked 490 weight training individuals for 6 months and discovered that groups consuming over 2.8 grams per kilogram of body weight gained 23% less muscle on average compared to those consuming 1.6 grams. What's even more surprising comes from a large-scale meta-analysis by the University of Sydney's Nutrition Department in Australia. The mechanism by which excessive protein intake hinders muscle growth has been clearly identified. When too much protein enters the body, it expends tremendous energy processing it, particularly when the liver and kidneys become overloaded. The energy needed for muscle synthesis becomes insufficient. Groups consuming over 3 grams per kilogram daily showed an average 31% decrease in IGF-1, a hormone critical for muscle synthesis. So exactly how much should you eat? This has been the most fiercely debated topic among sports nutritionists worldwide for the past decade. And in 2023, scientific consensus finally emerged. Groundbreaking research from the University of Texas Galveston Medical Center revealed 5 key factors determining optimal protein intake for muscle growth. The first factor is exercise intensity and frequency. This is absolutely crucial. Should someone doing light weight training 3 times weekly eat the same amount as someone doing high-intensity workouts 6 times weekly? Obviously not. German researchers from the University of Freiburg's Sports Science Department tested 320 people and found that groups exercising 2 to 3 times weekly at moderate intensity had optimal protein intake at 1.2 to 1.4 grams per kilogram. Within this range, muscle synthesis rates peaked, and eating more actually reduced effectiveness. What about groups exercising 5 to 6 times weekly at high intensity? They needed 1.6 to 2.0 grams per kilogram. However, even here, exceeding 2.2 grams caused muscle gains to plateau or decrease. Why? While high-intensity exercise increases muscle damage and protein needs for recovery, there are limits. Our bodies can only process a certain amount of protein at once. Research from Switzerland's University of Bern Institute of Exercise Physiology shows our bodies can use only 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal for muscle synthesis. What happens if you eat more? It's used for energy, stored as fat, or worst case, excreted as nitrogen waste while burdening the kidneys. When comparing groups consuming over 60 grams per meal versus 30 grams, muscle synthesis rates were nearly identical. The second key factor is protein quality and type. Even with identical amounts, which protein you consume makes results completely different. Fascinating research from Maastricht University in the Netherlands shows animal and plant proteins have different muscle synthesis efficiency. Animal proteins, especially whey protein, are rich in essential amino acids and absorb quickly, showing 42% higher muscle synthesis rates on average. But here's an important twist. Consuming only excessive animal protein actually increases inflammation markers. Research from Tokyo University's Department of Nutritional Metabolism in Japan found that groups getting over 90% of daily protein from animal sources showed an average 38% increase in CRP, an inflammatory marker. Increased inflammation delays muscle recovery and ultimately hinders muscle growth. So what's the optimal ratio? According to the Golden Ratio presented by King's College London's Nutrition Department, 60 to 70% animal protein and 30 to 40% plant protein proves ideal. Groups consuming this ratio gained an average 18% more muscle and reduced body fat by 12% more, compared to pure animal protein groups. Among plant proteins, which are best? Legumes like soybeans, lentils, and chickpeas top the list. French researchers from Paris-Saclay University measured that soy protein shows only 15% lower muscle synthesis rates compared to animal protein, but provides 43% greater inflammation reduction effects. So mixing animal and plant proteins kills two birds with one stone, building muscle while reducing inflammation. The third factor is protein timing. This is critically important. The same amount of protein produces vastly different effects, depending on when you consume it. Researchers at the University of Toronto's exercise science department discovered optimal timing. The 30 minutes to 2 hours immediately post-workout is called the golden window for protein intake. Why does this window matter? After exercise, muscle cells become extremely sensitive to protein. This is professionally termed the anabolic window. Italian researchers from the University of Milan measured that groups consuming protein within 1 hour post-workout showed 67% higher muscle synthesis rates compared to those eating 4 hours later. However, caution is needed here. Even immediately post-workout doesn't mean eating unlimited amounts. Spanish research from the University of Barcelona's sports nutrition department shows even after exercise, 25 to 30 grams per serving remains optimal. Comparing groups consuming 50 grams post-workout versus 25 grams revealed the 25-gram group actually showed 8% higher muscle synthesis rates. What about other daily meals? The University of Illinois Nutrition Department presents an ideal protein distribution strategy. Divide daily protein intake into 4 to 5 servings, distributing 20 to 30 grams evenly per meal. Groups doing this showed 34% higher muscle synthesis rates compared to those consuming the same total, but concentrated in 1 or 2 meals, despite identical daily totals. Bedtime protein intake proves especially important. Remarkable research from Wageningen University's Sleep Institute in the Netherlands shows groups consuming 30 grams of casein protein 30 minutes before sleep experienced continuous overnight muscle synthesis, showing 22% higher muscle recovery rates upon waking. Casein digests slowly, steadily supplying amino acids throughout the night. The fourth key factor is balancing carbohydrates and fats. Many people miss this, but eating only excessive protein doesn't build muscle. Australian research from Griffith University's exercise physiology department shows groups consuming excessive protein without adequate carbohydrates experienced almost no muscle gains. Why? Carbohydrates promote insulin secretion, and insulin plays a crucial role transporting amino acids into muscle cells. Without sufficient insulin, no matter how much protein you eat, it can't reach muscles and simply gets consumed for energy or excreted. Danish researchers at the Copenhagen University Metabolic Institute measured that groups consuming protein and carbohydrates in a 3-to-1 ratio showed 41% higher muscle synthesis rates than protein-only groups. So what's the optimal ratio? For post-workout meals, 25 grams of protein with 75 grams of carbohydrates proves ideal. Examples include 100 grams of chicken breast with 1 sweet potato, or 1 protein shake scoop with 2 bananas. Brazilian research from the University of São Paulo's nutrition department found groups consuming this ratio gained an average 4.2 kilograms of muscle mass in just 12 weeks. Fat matters too. Many people extremely restrict fat when building muscle, but this is also a big mistake. Research from Pennsylvania State University's endocrinology department shows when fat intake drops below 20% of daily calories, testosterone secretion decreases by an average 28%. Testosterone is essential for muscle synthesis. Particularly fats rich in omega-3 fatty acids prove important. Norwegian research from the University of Bergen's Marine Nutrition Department found groups consuming over 2 grams of omega-3 daily showed 23% improved muscle synthesis rates and 37% faster post-exercise inflammation recovery. Regularly eating foods like salmon, mackerel, and flaxseed is beneficial. The fifth and final key factor is individual age and metabolic state. Can a 20-year-old and 50-year-old eat the same protein amount and see identical effects? Absolutely not. Important research from the Mayo Clinic's Aging Institute shows muscle responsiveness to protein decreases with age. This is called anabolic resistance. For those over 50, achieving the same muscle synthesis effects as 20-year-olds requires increasing protein intake by approximately 1.3 times. Canadian research from McGill University's Geriatrics Department indicates those over 50 need about 1.6 to 1.8 grams per kilogram. However, exceeding 2.5 grams only burdens kidneys and liver without additional muscle gain benefits. I sincerely support your healthy muscle growth and vibrant life. If today's video helped, please subscribe and like, and share your protein intake experiences in comments. In the next video, we'll explore scientific methods for faster muscle recovery. Everyone, start smart protein consumption today for healthy transformation. Thank you.